Welcome back to the Stream of Consciousness podcast. I'm your host, Rebs Rollolazo, also known as Rebs. We are on episode 44, and it is officially spring. We have gotten out of the dark winter months. Seasonal depression is to the wayside. We're moving forward, which I love. If you haven't listened to the last episode, 43, that was my first episode back after a hiatus since about October. And so it will just be helpful to kind of get caught up if you listen to that one first. So go listen to that one if you haven't. It's only like 15 minutes. It's fine. Do the laundry, throw it on. But go ahead, listen to that one. If not, though, I'll give you some Cliff's Notes. Cliff's Notes is like a Ruth's Chris situation, because it's actually not Cliff Notes, it's Cliff's Notes. And who's Cliff's? I don't know. Anyways, so here's the Cliff's Notes. Basically, I'm about to begin week 6 or 7. I don't know exactly. Month and a half of unemployment. And this was a choice that I made on my own. I quit my corporate job of 10 years with nothing lined up. And it was the probably best choice that I have made for myself now, being this far into it. It's been just really eye-opening and really, really important for me and my health. And I'm already feeling the impact of just the low stress levels of being able to just wake up and kind of have nothing on the agenda or have as much on the agenda as you want. But being able to just take the time and invest in you is so important. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I am a month and a half into my funemployment journey. One thing I would like to quickly clarify, and probably because you guys may be nosy about this too, I would be nosy about this maybe, but when I was considering unemployment and leaving my job and not having anything lined up and just living my life kind of, I was a bit hesitant, and I was interested in the people who I had seen on social media or friends, family members who had kind of done this. And so I reached out to them and I just kind of asked around, people who I knew who had any bout of unemployment or, currently were, maybe in the job market right now or whatnot. And so I kind of asked, how were they getting along? How are things going without a job? And it was a resounding, either that was the best thing that I ever did, quitting my job and taking time off, or even though I didn't choose unemployment, it has been really helpful for me to have some time off. And so I thought, okay, and kind of asked people financially though, how are you doing this? And kind of got things all over the board. I've had some friends where they've had, family members be able to help them out, which is really amazing if you have that opportunity and that privilege. And some people, have got savings, some people, filing for unemployment and that. So for me, I was actually able to save money over the last pretty much my whole lifetime. And I decided that I was going to take a portion of that. I don't want to blow all of my savings, but a portion of that I wanted to be able to take and just see, okay, if I was okay without a job for 3 to 4 months, what would that look like? And I felt comfortable with that. And so that's kind of where I've been at. So I figured out what did I need to have to live on for a couple months if I didn't have anything. So that's kind of where I'm at. So just being really frugal, being mindful of where I'm spending money and investing my money into the things that are important to my healing journey and all of that as I've quit my corporate career. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today is the things that I've been doing in unemployment, maybe things that wouldn't be expected. I feel like with the spring weather, it's kind of helped me turn over a new leaf being in this phase of life. It's very transitional for me. So I'm going through a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, all of that. And so to help me manage that, not just with medication or anything like that, I wanted to share some of the more unexpected, maybe fun things that maybe not necessarily fun things, but just things that have been helping me through this. And whether you're in an unemployment, transitional phase or whatever, I think that these are still kind of helpful things that anyone can implement or use or help. I'm not saying they're going to work for everyone, but these are what work for me. So number one that has been extremely helpful is cutting out alcohol, which was actually unintentional. And I haven't completely cut it out, but I'm pretty much Cali sober. If you don't know what that means, then you can just Google it. But I'm Cali sober, basically. I'll have a beer here or there, but I have a really strong aversion to liquor and wine now, and really heavy, high alcohol content type of drinks. It is not as fun for me anymore. I don't enjoy, I'm someone who I always loved drinking. I always did. As a young kid, loved drinking. No, but I always enjoyed going out and having drinks with friends and never had a real problem with it. But I was always someone who never drank during the weekday. I was not a weekday drinker. Even really in college, I didn't drink during the weekday much. So it was always a weekend thing for me. And so drinking, I've kind of cut out because I just felt like my anxiety as I've gotten older with hangovers has gotten way worse. It was making me gain more weight, and I just didn't feel like I didn't even enjoy how I felt while I was drinking it. So I kind of made the decision, like, I don't have to continue to drink. And I've done stints of time where I have not drank alcohol. I think the longest stint I went was about 10 months, just because I didn't want to. I wasn't like trying not to. I just was more focused on, my physical health and all of that. So yeah, I have kind of cut that out, and I think it's personally been very helpful. It's been very helpful for my wallet. Holy shit. Drinks are so expensive. So if you're trying to save money, cut out alcohol. Like, I'm telling you, when you go to dinner with friends and you get 2 drinks, I mean, that could be $40 easy. 2 drinks. That's crazy. And it's like, I don't want to drink my calories. I want to eat them. Like, I'm trying to eat cake at 4 a.m. If you have seen my plug midnight snack videos on Instagram. But I like to consume them in that way versus drinking alcohol calories. So that is one thing that has been especially, oh my God, I'm not that person. I don't say espresso, it's espresso. Especially, it has been especially helpful for me. Okay. So number 2, choosing to do one quote unquote hard thing a day. And okay, what does this mean? So to me, and I say quote unquote hard because they're not hard things that I'm envisioning. So let's say that you are getting ready in the morning and you're throwing clothes all over the, floor, just trying to figure out what the hell you're going to wear to work because, you're already depressed anyways. And you're like, fuck, I'm on my period. I can't wear these jeans because of this. And then this top and this bra is hurting my tits. And it's just a whole, okay, we have a lot to worry about. So you're in the morning, you're getting dressed, you're throwing your clothes all over the floor, whatever. And so to me, choosing one hard thing in that situation would be, okay, instead of me letting these clothes continue to pile up throughout the week, when I get home from work, immediately I'm going to clean these up and I'm going to hang them up. And then tomorrow morning, I won't wake up stressed with clothes, all, just strewn about my closet. So to me, it's either in that moment or making blocking the time to do that task at a certain time if you can't do it exactly in that moment. But if you are putting a dish in the dishwasher and there's a bunch of dishes in the sink, just also take those and put them in the dishwasher too. Don't just stare at them. So it's something that could take you anywhere from 2 seconds to 2 minutes. But those moments where you're like, oh, I really don't want to do that right now. Even making the bed, whatever it is, cleaning up the bathroom before you leave the house, just pick one thing. And I think for me, it helps totally with my mentality for the day of wow, I did not want to do that today and I did it. And now I feel good. Even if it's something as small as that, it can really change your day. I think, at least for me, it's helped turn my day around sometimes, especially if I'm really sad or really something, it's the mental toughness in me of, okay, the way that I'm going to do this, I've got to do something harder. That's outside of me right now. That's beyond my brain, just a simple task. And it kind of helps you pull yourself out of that hole. So that is my second tip. Number 3, walking. I think everyone knows this. Going on a walk is what everyone knows to do when you are struggling with mental health or even just physical health, any of that. Go on a walk. It's the easiest thing ever. Get some fresh air, go outside. You should do that. I have been really, really bad about it. And it's so frustrating to me. It's this battle I have with myself every day because I live in such a wonderful area that is walking distance from so many great places. It's such a cute little area of town. And there will be days where I find myself just in the house and maybe I haven't left my house in 3 or 4 days, haven't even gone outside. And that is not good. And so I am trying to make it a point. I put the health fitness app as a widget on my home screen of my phone so that I'm mindful of the amount of steps I'm taking every day and I can just see it on my home screen so that it's a priority. That is a priority to me is getting movement in. So I decided 3 to 4 days out of the week, I am going to work to get 10,000 or more steps in on those days. And then on the days off, I'd like to just maintain, maybe somewhere at 5,000 steps, which really isn't that many. If you go run errands, if you go on a quick walk to grab a coffee or something, we don't have a dog, but you take the dog on a walk, you can do it. So walking, that is how I'm trying to get back into my routines of physical health and just movement. I've been living pretty sedentary and I think seasonal depression will just do that to anyone, honestly. So trying to pull myself out of that hole. Okay. Number 4, not forcing myself to do anything creatively that I don't feel is maybe right at that time. So I've had a really big creative block recently with reading. And I love reading. It is one of my favorite pastimes. I will sit on the couch. Anders will throw on sports. I will throw on some headphones and I will lock into a book for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know the last time I've done that. Actually, I do. It was in January with Julia Fox's book, Down the Drain. If you have not read that memoir, holy fucking shit. I knew it was going to be wild. I did. And it did not disappoint. I love her. I stan. Julia Fox, you are my icon. I love you. So besides that, I haven't been able to get into a book since January, and that is not like me. And so I've got these really wonderful books so many books in my house that I want to read. And for whatever reason, I cannot get myself to just sit down and pick up a book and read. I'll pick up the book and then I just do something else. So, I've tried not to beat myself up over that too much. And I've tried to lean into it and just maybe take a break from it, So just not forcing yourself to do anything because you feel like you should, or that doesn't feel right in that moment. Just don't force that type of creativity. I'm specifically talking about, creativity here and just maybe hobbies, things, extracurriculars, those types of things. So the next one, I got two more: cooking and baking. I feel like those can be very soothing activities for me. I've started to find a lot more excitement in baking and playing around with recipes there. I never grew up baking and I've never had a sweet tooth. And now I've hit 32 and all of a sudden, this bitch wants sweets all the time. I mean, I can't get enough of them and it is not great. And it has probably been tied to the seasonal depression, like just reaching for that dopamine hit. So the sugar is a little out of control right now. I'm going to reel it in, but I think I've enjoyed the sugar because the baking is so fun, and the cookies are just the lovely reward, the benefit of, the gifts that I have sown from my baking. That's a little ridiculous, but you know what I'm saying. I love cookies. And recently I've become the cookie monster. So that's all I'm saying is I like sweets and I'm enjoying baking now.
Do the voice.
What's the voice?
Cookie monster.
Oh, Cookie Monster. Me wrong. Wait, is that?
No, it's not like.
No.
You're doing like Kermit. It's
me.
Cookie.
Cookie. No cookie. I don't know. Last one. This is probably the most wild experience and unexpected experiences I've had during this month and a half. If you have ever had a deep tissue massage, well, one, that shit is serious, but it is a trip, man. It was incredible. And I want to walk you through my experience with it. And you guys are probably like, yeah, a deep tissue massage. Where have you been? You're 32 years old. You've never had a fucking deep tissue massage? No, I haven't, Cheryl. I have been just barely surviving. Okay. Every massage that I've booked, I feel like has never really been that great. Probably because I haven't gone to very good places. Big chains, all that. So the other day, I maybe couldn't have picked a worse day to go, which I actually thought was going to be the best day to go. And it turned out I didn't think this one through quite. So I had started my period and she said period. I started my period and I was like, you know what? I'm exhausted. My body is so tight from stress. I haven't had a massage in so long. Like, I'm going to get a massage today. I'm going to book a massage. And so there's this new spot that opened up by my house called The Now. And it is a chain, but I think it started out in California or something. It's small so far, but it's expanding. And so they just opened a location by us. And I booked there, luckily. I almost didn't book because the first available, they only had a male masseuse. And sometimes I get a little bit nervous of Anders is cracking his knuckles in the corner. Oh my God. So dramatic. It's fine. I just, for me, I am not always comfortable with a male masseuse, but I was like, you know what? Honestly, I'm fine. I'm fine with this. They're professionals. Okay. So I get to the studio and it smells lovely. They have beautiful decor and aesthetics, and it was just lovely, and it smelled nice. They offered me water. I was like, see, this is what I want. This is just what I want. Okay. So they hand me a water. My guy, he brings me back into room, and we're just chatting for a second. He says, okay, so, what are we talking about here? And I was like, okay, well, let's see. I have worked in a corporate environment for 10 years, basically at a keyboard or sprinting from conference room to conference room. So I would say I have the shoulders and the traps of John Cena just from that alone. Just the stress that I have harnessed and developed in my shoulders from just years of stress. It's unbelievable. So that is really the target area that I need you to work on, Mike. And he's like, okay, got it. I hear you. And I was like, I was also a dancer for 15 years. So I developed arthritis from that. So that's kind of a wild thing. I was 27, got arthritis. And I never really had my body worked on after 15 years of just basically professional dance alone. So good luck with this sack of rocks you got to work with. And I go into the room and it's very warm. And I was like, you know what? This is good because I'm going to kind of sweat a little bit too. But I'm not thinking. So I'm on my period, not thinking. I'm very sensitive to heat. So it's like pretty hot in there. And I lay down and I'm under 7 layers of blankets. So I'm kind of sweating, and I feel good because I'm like, okay, he's keeping me covered. This guy knows what's up. And when I tell you, I was the way that he was manipulating my arms and my neck and just shifting muscles around, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I feel like I felt, well, first I definitely felt muscles in my body I didn't even know existed. And then it was so intense. I mean, there were muscles he was touching in my leg that I thought I could feel in my neck. And I was like, oh God, is this how I die? If you've ever had your calves massaged, talk about some pain. Talk to me about some pain. Because if you ever had a Charlie horse, then just imagine someone just digging their thumbs into your calves and massaging. Oh God, that's rough. But he got in there and the tension that was released in my body, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm floating on air. This is insane. And so I leave, and they always say hydrate, really, really hydrate when you get a massage because you're loosening up all the muscle tissue toxins. So I get dressed, whatever, and leave. But as I'm on my way out, he's like, yeah, no, I can tell. We have work to do. We have some rocks to massage out into some sand. I don't know what that means, but if Mike needs to get a chisel and go to town on these muscles next time, like, I mean, I'll let him do whatever he needs to do. Like, I already feel a million times better. So I leave, I come home, I'm trying to drink water. I'm not good at it. I forget to eat lunch. Then I have to go run an errand. Then I have to go pick up things for Moo. Well, what they don't tell you, or they didn't tell me, is that you should not be doing high stress activities after a deep tissue massage. And so I do these errands. I do all these things. I get home. My blood sugar is so low. I've had barely any water because I've been out and about. I wasn't planning on doing all these things today, and it just happened. So I come home. I absolutely lose my shit. I go into a blackout rage. Anders is at work, so I'm home alone. I go into a blackout rage. I take the 4 bags of groceries that I got. I hurled them across the room. I then decide that I have to give Moo his antibiotic in this moment. So I try to give him that. He won't eat it. I start freaking out, and I lay on the couch and I just start sobbing and absolutely lose my shit. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And never in my life have I cried after a massage. And so it's really crazy the trust that you'll put into Google, or just the humility you have sometimes to put things in like a Google search bar. And I had to ask, hey Google, why am I sobbing fucking crying on the couch after my deep tissue massage? And so I could the mother load of results of, yes, with body work and all of this, it is very common to get very emotional after deep tissue. It's loosening up toxins and stress and all this. And I sobbed, and I could not stop crying. And usually I'm one of those people who's like, I'll be like, and like snap myself out of it and be like, no, like slap myself. But I could not, and I couldn't do it. And I just was crying, and I was like, I'm like, I don't even want to cry anymore. Like, this is so annoying. Like, I got to the place in my head of, this is annoying me that I'm crying, but I couldn't stop it. And I've never had that feeling before. And I shoved a granola bar so deep down my throat so quickly, because I was like, my blood sugar has got to be so low. I gotta just get this granola bar like in my stomach now, like just shove it down there, so that I just immediately I'm about to like fucking shoot up, like break up this granola bar and just shoot it straight up in my veins. I need sugar in my blood ASAP. So I shoved that down my throat. I grabbed some tissues. I cried on top of Moo. He's like, what the fuck is going on, Mom? I'm the one who's upset and is sick and depressed. So I finally pulled myself out of it, and we made it through. And it was so refreshing, and I felt rejuvenated the next day, and just like my body was finally loose and alleviated of stress for the first time in, like, physically for the first time in, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. And so all that to say, if you have any interest in feeling like you've been raw dogged by a car wash, go get a deep tissue massage and allow yourself just that pain, that emotion to be released. No, I'm kidding. But really it was so helpful for me, and I'm going to continue to go and help work out my muscles, because I'm like John Cena Jr. He doesn't exist. Or I don't know. Maybe John Cena is a junior. I don't know. But a smaller version. So my traps they've gone down, but we still got work to do. But it's crazy how your body will just harbor stress and nourish stress in the form of like tight muscles. It's crazy what your body will do. So these are all the things that have kind of really helped me through this past month and a half. I'm still working on it, but I have found all of these things to be helpful. And for the most part, all of these are pretty easy to implement, or at least one or two of them at a time, you know? So if you feel like getting back into good habits, here's maybe a few tips and tricks that have helped me. So just wanted to share, not like shoving advice on you guys or anything, but just sharing my quote unquote wellness journey. I hate saying wellness journey because it sounds so like woo woo, and wellness is such a wide range too. I mean, wellness covers so many things. It can also mean so many different things. So I hate to say wellness journey, but just getting back into the swing of things, getting back, springing forward with a fresh attitude on life and joy, happiness, celebrate, flowers, rain. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words that remind me of spring. Who knows? Who knows what's happening up in here right now? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. As always, please subscribe, rate, review on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and I'll see you guys next week.